Hi, my name is Jamie Gilsig. I'm from Cornwall, Ontario. My question is initially addressed at our MP, Mr. Lauzon, but it's for the entire panel. We're about to celebrate the second, well, not celebrate, we're about to have the second anniversary of the Seaway International Bridge crises, where the people of Akwesasne protested having armed CBSA agents in their lands. Mr. Lauzon, you've gone on record as saying that your solution is to have CBSA move to the American border crossing, thus, in my opinion, becoming an autonomy issue for Canada. We have Marc Emery sitting in a jail in the United States, extradited from our country without ever being prosecuted in our country. I'd like to know where your position is on the Canadian autonomy of these two issues, and I'd like to hear from the rest of the panel, please. Thank you.
Mr. Lauzon.
Thank you very much for bringing that up, Jamie. It gives me an opportunity to explain that. As you know, this has been a 65-year-old problem, that port of entry crossing. At various times there would be demonstrations, etc., and the border would be closed for various periods of time. When the decision was taken to arm the guards right across 6,000 points of entry, 5,900 actually points of entry across Canada, we negotiated with Akwesasne for something like 4 years, at least the CBSA did, and they couldn't come to an agreement. When the arms were going in there on May 1st, I think it was May 31st, the warriors, and it's not fair to say that the Akwesasne residents, the warriors, made threats to the CBSA guards. So wisely the government said, you remove those people, the safety of Canadians, the traveling public, and the safety of the CBSA personnel is uppermost. And that's what happened. We put those folks first. And only 6 weeks later, without any, with negotiation, we were able to reopen that border with a temporary port of entry. Folks, the port of entry now, the times are quicker than any other port across Canada. The rates of going through that port are a heck of a lot better than any other port of entry. So that's why I commend the CBSA people, because they do such a good job at looking after what is a very, very trying situation. And yes, we're going to resolve this. Negotiations are ongoing, and this should be resolved in the very near future with a very peaceful relationship for everyone involved. Thank you.
It is a disgrace for a multicultural society to stand up and say, we've been here for as long as we are, and we do not understand the culture on Akwesasne. I work over there on a regular basis. They are good people, and they have rights. They are a nation. And if a government cannot negotiate, if they don't have the ability to negotiate with people who are standing up for their rights, are they going to stand up for your rights? No, they're not. What you had was a public service union. They've had guns now for 4 years. They used them once. They shot a dog. They shot a dog. It's time for the government to stand up and say, you know what, if you're working at a border and you have RCMP that are there, and you're too much of a coward to work there, standing next to an RCMP officer, you should find another place to work. An option should have been given to the Akwesasne natives and that nation to say, you know what? Take over. We're going to privatize this. Show us how to do it right, because obviously we've been doing it wrong for a long time. We trample people's rights here. Yet if it's somebody that just arrived yesterday, oh yeah, well, we don't want to insult them. Christians, yeah, we'll ignore the fact that Good Friday is one of your holidays. Native Americans, yeah, well, you know what? If it wasn't for you people, yet Fitzgibbons would have raided this country to be America now. It would have been. Without the Mohawks in this area, we would be Americans. Thank you.
Interesting? Come on. Nothing else, I hope.
That's That's on.
John is getting that at the back.
Is that on?
Yes.
Thank you. The bridge has been, the bridge situation has been a failure for the Harper government. And this issue is one of fundamental respect. When you have a problem, an issue, a disagreement, you have to come to the table and you have to sit down and you have to talk to people. You have to have dialogue. And then you have to tell the community that elected you what is going on. What are you doing to resolve this? And if you have a problem with the dialogue, with the sitting down and talking, then you go to mediation. That's why we have mediators, to help us resolve our differences. What's happened here is we've had this situation that has damaged the relationship, and a peaceful and good relationship that we've had with our neighbors, the people, the Mohawk people of Akwesasne, that has damaged the relationship that we have with our businesses between the two communities, because we do business, good, legitimate business. And so when you say to the Mohawk Council, no, we're not going to send the public safety minister to the riding to take a look at this complex jurisdiction, to actually visit and see what it looks like. When you go and drive there, you realize what people live with. And you come to Cornwall and you take a look at the border crossing that's there, that's something that started out as being temporary, that's looking less and less temporary if you drive by it, right on the bottom of a wonderful boulevard that we want to use as an opening to our city. No, this has really been a failure of this Harper government. We should have had dialogue, we should have had openness about what's going on. We should have had a cabinet minister responsible for this file, speaking at a political level to the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne and to this Cornwall City Council as well. And that has not taken place.
Thank you, Ms. Clement. Mr. Leclerc.
Thank you. If elected as your MP, I will take the issue where it is or it stands as we speak. We can't change the past. My view is the port of entry should be closer to the U.S. border. And we want to make it right in the first place, to satisfy all the partners, the Mohawk community, our citizens in our riding, the U.S. borders, and the U.S. Department and CBSA. I'm going to take, if elected as your MP, I'm going to take all the time it takes to resolve this issue. We're looking for solution, satisfied solution. And we can build a bridge before this issue is resolved. We can. Thank you.